Welcome to another Fiberific live craft and chat where we craft and chat live. Sorry about the delay in getting started. I was doing something I probably shouldn't have been doing and got sidetracked and then realized I had not double checked the hands down camera, and we're doing a queen today. And this camera does not like the queen. It hates the queen so much. It hates it. So if you could just let me know if you could hear me, if you could see me, all the drill, just because, I got to do all the things. So I'm just having a quick check through the chat. So much conversation happening earlier on. So much, yeah, like Ruth and Kathy have a good old chin wag before the stream starts. I'm having a look. Okay. Check in. Morning. All good. Can see in here. Thank you, Molly. Appreciate that. Thank you, Sally. Yeah, so my own fault. I got sucked into, there was a live stream on and I was watching it, and then I've looked at the time and just went, ooh, I need to get ready. So, yeah, so there was that. So, yeah, let me know if if it's all good. And I usually have a full system reboot before I get started, just to, freshen everything up. But I didn't do that this morning. So I'm really hoping there's no laggy rubbish stuff going on. I'm not sure if there is. There's not a lot I can do about it now, short of a reboot, which I would prefer not to do. Truth be told, I could chuck it on and be right back, but the reboot takes like 5 minutes, which is annoying. Good morning. Saying hello to everybody in the chat here. Good morning to Francis and Lisa Larson, Leslie Grant, Jen Deal saying hello to everybody. Jancy is on the ball. So exciting. I'm streaming from the iPad to the telly, and the chat feed has suddenly come up on the side of the telly. It's never done that before. So are you sharing the screen, or have you cast it to the television? If you're screen sharing, it'll see exactly what's on your iPad. But if you've cast it, it normally just shows the video. In saying that, YouTube are doing some seriously interesting stuff at the moment, that's supposed to really benefit live streamers. And part of it's they talked vaguely that they were going to be changing up some of the TV interface stuff. Maybe this is that. I don't know. That's what it was, Freaky. Totally. I was getting some live practice in. So a friend of mine was live being interviewed on another channel. So I thought I'll just catch a few minutes of that. But I got sucked into it. And it's just like I knew I should have set an alarm to remind me. But anyway, Gamer Widows has finished spinning up all of her fiber roll eggs. Now she's onto her tablet weaving. I don't have timestamps next to the comments. Neither do I. I normally only have timestamps next to a comment if I'm watching a replay. But that is a new feature as well that YouTube are bringing in. If you actually comment on someone's video now, it will actually show a timestamp of when you've commented. It's more so that some creators, not me usually, some creators have people come in and write mean comments. This was rubbish, did nothing. And then when they actually have a look at the, like if they can, now that they can see the timestamp, they're realizing that people are writing these comments 1 or 2 seconds into the video. Like basically they've opened the video, jumped into the comment section and started writing vitriol. Someone's trying to ring me. Good job, whoever you are. You did not do your research. So you'll start noticing in the comment section, not so much on the live streams, I don't believe, but in the comment sections, you'll start seeing timestamps come up soon. Pearly wants to know what tablet weaving is. Pearly, I highly recommend you having a quick Google. Basically, think of like little coaster-like squares with some holes in it, different number of holes depending on the patterns you want to do. And you actually tilt and turn them to change where the warp is, and you just weave through it. Like think like little inkle looms. Most tablet weaving's done that's quite narrow, like usually a few inches. It's fantastic. You should definitely go and check it out. It's a lot of fun to see. It's a lot of fun to see. Freaky says, it's not me. I don't know your number. Also, Freaky, this was from Sydney. You're not in Sydney, so I'm fairly certain it's not you. So yes, there's heaps of stuff coming up on YouTube at the moment for everybody. So I need to know what's in your cup right now. I have my cold brew. This is the last of the cold brew. I need to make some more. Yeah. Very, very nice. Very nice. I love my cold brew. Pearly says, exactly where do I fit that into my schedule? I don't know. I have no idea. Kerry says, I use an Android tablet and I've always had timestamps on live chat. Okay. Like when you're watching the replay or during the live video? Because I've never seen the timestamps during the live. I've seen them during the replays sometimes. Also remember, Android usually get all the features first because Google owns Android and Google owns YouTube. But every now and again, they try to shake it up and give iPhone users and Apple users early access, which is unusual. Oh, no. Yes. Remedy that. Yes. Chai sounds excellent. Definitely. So Kerry sees the times on the live videos. That's cool. I don't recall seeing it now. I'm going to have to go and check out. I just probably haven't noticed. Dolores is jumping in. Don't even worry about it, Dolores. We were running late ourselves. I was running 3 minutes late. Coffee, just remembered it was there from a couple of hours ago. Yeah, this morning I was getting ready to take Abby to school, and Abby's like, do you know that there's a coffee in the coffee machine? It just needs milk. I'm like, yes, I'll get to it. So it was cold-ish. I mean, it wasn't cold, but it wasn't hot. Now that I'm actually paying attention, my Android phone has timestamps with the comments. I'm going to have to go back and check now because I have no idea. I didn't realize that was there. Knitspin Girl says, I've always had the timestamps next to the comments during the live. Weird, but not now. Okay. Maybe they're testing. That's the other thing to remember is YouTube are constantly testing. Like they'll drop little features away and bring them back and, see if things run more efficiently or more smoothly with or without them. If people comment that they don't have it, like, oh, I don't have the thing anymore and I'm annoyed. Yeah, like there's always, it's always a bit crazy. Okay, so I've got my cold brew. I also have water as well. Like if I have a milky drink on live, I always make sure I've got about 1 liter of water. So we've got Louis in the house. Hello, Lulu. He has brought a toy. He's had a snack and now he's having a nap. So he will hopefully not trash anything during this live stream. That is the goal. So yeah, so that's what we've got happening. Sally said, I drank all mine whilst on hold, making more appointments for next week. I hope you got the appointments you wanted. So I was thinking yesterday about, what craft to do. And I know I've promised to work on some raw fleece that I have, but I just really didn't feel like dealing with like a stinky boy fleece today. So last night I decided it's time to work on the queen again. Okay, so I hope you don't mind. I do not have my crown, Freaky. I didn't think of that. I should have grabbed the crown, but I didn't. So, and then this was the thing. I was like all set up and ready to go, about to hit live, and then went, did I check that webcam? Because it always plays up on this blanket. And I think it's all the oranges that really confuse it. So now, so we've got the big overhead camera going as well today to try and give the overall of how big this blanket is. But I haven't thrown that in. There we go. So it's got it's big. It's a big blanket. This one does the colors justice quite well, but I think it's because they're not like in its face. Whereas this one here, it's being a bit more of a baby. It doesn't. It's having a sook basically. I mean, it is considerably closer. I did turn all. It shouldn't have been doing that. Hang on a second. Oh, well, we're going to do some camera repairs. No, camera setting changes on the fly, because all the camera settings that I set up, it's having a you know, a cry now. So let's go properties. Defaults. No, it's not letting me. It's not bringing me up my little box that I like. We might just have to suck it up, I think. Oh, there it is. No. Okay, we want configure the video. It's a bit slow this morning. It really did need a reboot. Oh no, it's definitely got the settings that I left it with. It's just being a bit buttish. I'm just going to take this saturation down a little. It's quite in our faces, so I'm just going to, you know, mess with some things. All right, apply. Okay, that's hopefully a bit better. It's also zoomed in quite a lot. So I'm just going to see if I can zoom out a little. I mean, my keyboard's there. Do you guys mind seeing my keyboard? Like, I just hide it. I've hidden the keyboard now. You cannot see the keyboard. Okay. All righty. Cool. Can you put your face square on the other side? No, not easily. Not easily or quickly. I'm sorry. Yeah, it looks a bit more normal now. It's got, there's a delay, but you know, that happens sometimes with this camera and these colors. All right. So I'm working on a purple row. We're still in this middle orange section that's the halfway mark. I've not gotten any further than, you know, than that. I'm just working out where I'm up to here. I've done that to there. All right. Okay, I've got it. So what are you all working on this week? Let me know in the chat while I work on this. Yeah, I'm confused, Jency. I don't normally get, when I cast my devices to the television, I don't usually get the chat there. It's normally still on my device, which, you know, I mean, admittedly, I don't normally cast my iPad to the TV. I normally do it from my laptop. So, oh no, another frogged sweater from Freaky. Jancy's doing a test knit of some socks. I do love that blanket. What's the pattern name again? It is the Queen Cowl from Tina Thor something or other. Could Sally or one of the mods please, pretty please, drop a link into the Queen Cowl? It was a cowl that was a couple of years ago now. I'm a bit behind. I started with everybody else. I did really well for a while and then put it down. And yeah, but no, I really love this blanket as well. And I cannot wait until I have finished it. It's going to, it's going to be amazing on my bed. Whoops, sorry. I forgot there was a speaker on and it just turned itself off. Oh, okay. All right. Jancy's actually not casting it to her screen. She's sharing the screen. Okay. Yeah, I understand now. So yeah, it'll cover my face. I can't do anything about that. let's have a look here. Sally's popped in the link for the Queen. Thank you, Sally. I'm just going back through the chat. Still working on the body of my V-back tee, faded 4 colors now. That is awesome. Rebecca is getting ready for a colorwork cowl. That sounds exciting. Are you going to start with it? Are you going to try and keep up? I'm terrible. I'm the worst at keeping up. Kathy finished her 6-day kid blanket this morning. For those of you that have done these 6-day blankets, how many of you actually finished them in 6 days? Because I don't think I could. And I'm a fairly fast crocheter, like when I'm not, here talking and not actually crocheting. The cardigan I've been working on is in the naughty basket, thinking long and hard about what it did. The gauge swatch lied. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm working on a Poly Plum Stardust. Melody's blanket. Kirby, I kind of cheated on this one. So I normally am pretty decent at picking colors, but what happened for me was I really loved the Tequila Sunrise color pack that she'd put together for this cowl, except I've lost my shoe, except I couldn't justify the cost because it was going to be something like $200 plus another $100 to ship it to me here in Australia. And I was just like, oh, no. So what I did, which is it cheating? I don't know if it's cheating. What I did was I grabbed the color palette that she was using for the I think it was the Tequila Sunrise. I think that's what the color pack was called. And I actually sort of matched as close as I could to the colors from Knit Picks Brava. Ended up getting everything I needed for about $120, $130 with free post. So definitely more in my budget for a blanket than the the other. But yeah, so it was definitely tough. A couple of the colors were a bit like some of these ones down here weren't really what there was, but I actually quite like how they've come out. So what I might do is I'll just pull this and I will go to our other camera view and where you can see the colors a bit better. And just, so some of these sorts of colors, these sort of like the red, like all of this was about right. And the purple over the top is pretty close. But sort of some of these colors were a little different. But it was what I could get from Knit Picks. So that's what I went with. But I actually really like it. So it's kind of like a necessity thing because the Knit Picks didn't have as much. Like you look at it and go, oh wow, there's like 100 colors or something available in. I don't think it's 100, like maybe 50 colors available in the blanket, but in the Brava. Sorry, not the blanket. But at the same time, when you start trying to have to match these colors, it really narrowed it down. Like there's only like 1 or 2 oranges and 1 or 2, reds and things like that. Whereas some other palettes have like got 4 or 5 of each. So yeah, but I mean, I'm really happy with it and I'm looking forward to using it. So basically where we're up to here, this is a second sort of yellow in this section here. You can see the line just probably better when I add some shadow to it. And this is the middle section, and then we start going backwards, doing all these colors again and repeating everything going the other way. So that's where I'm at. But yeah, I mean, so technically, did I choose the colors? I can't say I did. Oops, wrong camera. That one. There we go. Yeah. Where am I up to here? And my hook. Oops, quick gotta hide the tech. We can't show the tech. Also, if I push it much further away, I can't reach it. Normally I would adjust the camera rather than the keyboard. Can you guys bear with the bottom of a keyboard? No, there we go. It's gone now. Keyboard's gone. What keyboard? Who uses technology when they're live streaming? Not me. Not me. There's no tech here. Where's the yarn? There's the yarn. Okay, back to what we were doing. All right. Oh, sorry, I didn't read that one. I'm applying some wool tops I dyed up, hoping to start Christmas stocking number 2. Is that number 2 out of, was it 14 or something like that? Working on a little granny square cardigan for the granddaughter with the 70s retro looking cotton. That sounds nice. That sounds really cute. Talia says, starting a new project, should the main color be light blue or light gray? I can't answer that without some context. What does the pattern recommend is probably my first question. Cindy is working on one of Tina's patterns, the Montana. Awesome. Rebecca's going to try and keep up with the cowl. I'm sure you'll be able to do it, Rebecca, because you're way more focused than I am. So I think you'll be able to do it. 6 days is, it's for the small blanket that just about nobody makes. Is that right? Everyone normally bumps it up to that next size. Is that why I'm always confused? It could be why. Your queen is looking beautiful. Thank you, Dolores. Oh, you did say 14 last week, but on review it's only 13. Well, that helps. That absolutely helps. So then we've got, nope, secret context. Well, I can't help with that, I'm afraid. I can't help if I don't know the context. I'm always a fan of grey. I love grey. So, if it were me, I'd probably make the main color grey. But I don't know what the end product is. And if you make the main color grey, and then it probably would have been better in the blue. You can't hold me accountable because I have no idea what I'm talking about. There's that. John is using some sugar and cream crappy cotton to make a shopping bag. Do you know, John, I want to tell you a story. A very, very long time ago, getting crochet cotton here in worsted weight, near impossible, right? I could get the Bendigo 8-ply, which if anyone who's used the Bendigo 8-ply cotton knows it's not 8-ply at all. It's 5-ply. Or 6-ply, but it's definitely not it's a very thin 8-ply. Okay, let's just go with that. Very thin for an 8-ply. So I kept using all these patterns and using the 8-ply cotton that I could get, and it just wasn't working because obviously not the right yarn. So I decided to get some, I decided to import some sugar and cream. And because I never had anything else to compare it to other than the Bendigo thin cotton, and this is a long time ago, and I believe it's changed now, I actually quite liked the sugar and cream and the peaches and cream. I liked them both, but then something happened a couple of years ago, and I got some, and I was like, I swear this feels different. Is that just me? I don't know. But yeah, it was just like, I was convinced it felt different and had changed, and I haven't liked it since. We'll post photos in the fun zone. Okay, all right. John says, I just got back from my dad's house. I brought his truck to my house so I can sell it. I just popped in to make sure you were working on the queen. Good job. Thanks, John. Just double check. You guys are awesome, right? Like, between John just double checking I'm actually working on the queen. There's this beautiful, beautiful blanket that Kathy and Melissa are both working on. Kathy, if you're in the chat or if somebody knows, can you tell me what it's called again? I think it was like the Harbor something or other. It's an Attic 24 one. Anyway, I was looking at it going, oh my God, that could totally look awesome with all the scraps of the queen. And I've actually got some cottons that would look amazing in. And so I was just like, I could do, and I've also got like they're a cake with long color repeats that I got gifted a long time ago. And when I saw Kathy's version that she'd done without, like, she was using a slightly variegated yarn, I was just like, oh my God, it could totally work with this yarn that I've got. Anyway, I got my fingers wrapped from Melissa and Kathy, both reminding me that I had said I didn't want to start any new major projects until I'd finished some projects. So they have both been absolutely wonderful in keeping me on task. And so I have not started the other blanket yet, although I really, really want to. And while I haven't done much on the Queen, my fusion blanket, if you guys remember the fusion blanket, it's nearly got all its pieces blanket stitched finally. And then I'm on to the fun part, because I think the problem that I had with that particular blanket, it's not the crochet and it's not the joining of the squares, because I'm actually looking forward to both of those. It was the blanket stitching. And while I've had very generous offers to ship it away and have somebody else blanket stitch it, I don't want to do that. I want it to be a blanket I finished. I'm nearly through the blanket stitching. And I also knew if I stopped blanket stitching and actually started crocheting some of the borders just to break it up, it would take me a really long time to just finish off the last few. And there's not many to go. And yeah, so that's my goal. End of this week, they'll be finished, I reckon. That's my plan. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Keep an eye on Instagram and in the Fun Zone. So if you're not a member of the Fun Zone, my question is, why not? You can go over and join into the Fiberific Fun Zone. It is a free group where we continue on these conversations. So you can, share photos of what you're working on, which I always love to see, and continue the conversation. Now, there are some questions when you join the Fun Zone. They're very difficult questions. Things along the lines of, do you like yarn? Do you promise not to sell or promote in this group? And they're very difficult questions. But if you don't answer the questions, you will stay in non-group entry limbo where you won't be allowed in. So, yeah. So just answer the questions and then you can come in and join the fun that we have in there. There's quite a few people in there having an awesome time. Sally has popped in the link. Thank you, Sally. John says, I sent it. Oh, you've torn your hands up from the sugar and cream. Goodness me. I've got John is there. I just want to check something here. Okay. Now, I just want to, I've just realized I thought I posted a comment letting you guys know that my camera was playing up, but it's just sitting here unposted. Good job, Chantel. Well done. I'm just wanting to know if there's one of you who are here in the live chat who would like to become a moderator. You guys are always awesome. And Sally is on her own as moderator today. So that would be amazing if somebody wanted to put their hand up to give her a hand, just to deal with the bots, really is all it is. And also Sally is not going to be with us next week. So we need some extra mod help then as well. So Leanne wants to be a mod. Okay. I'm happy to take, oops, I'm in the wrong, I have to go over to this other window. All right, so add a moderator. And add a moderator. All right, I've modded up a couple of you, and then maybe next, oh, hang on a second. Hang on. It didn't work. Hang on. All right. And then next week we might add some more. We'll see how it goes. So if you're one of the new moderators, what you need to do is just you click on the 3 dots next to someone's comment, and that gives you some options. Just, I really only just remove the bots is really it. I need to get rid of this. It's doing my head in. All right, there we go. Okay. Okie dokie. Just to help Sally out as well. I know it's awkward with time zones and things like that. So I prefer to have a few extra mods and have all mods in the chat than have no mods in the chat, if that makes sense. All right, let's have a look here. Oops. I just finished my first pot holder using thermal stitch. I don't know what thermal stitch is. I need to find this out. Chris, would you be willing to throw a link of the thermal stitch over in the fun zone so I could have a look? Yeah. Kim is doing family things today, so she can't be here either. Oh, and Sally says, and you'll be able to add links as well. That's right. So, but we do sort of keep the links to a minimum-ish, usually, not always. Depends. So, yeah. Alrighty. Yeah, so we're just plodding along. I'm just still working on the queen. I'd like to snoop at that hot stitch as well. I don't think I've heard of it before. The thermal stitch. So yeah, is that a crochet or a knit stitch thing, Chris? Because that sounds amazing. Yeah, Sally can handle the links today. So yeah, if you can just sort of keep an eye out on bots. We seem to be getting a few today. So it's a crochet stitch. So that's cool. I'm so curious. So is it super thick, or is it like a special way to link? Or I love new things. You guys know what I'm like. My brain's like, just search, just Google it, Chantal, just Google it. But I'm trying not to. I'm trying very hard to just stay focused and work on my queen. I'm probably going to get smacked by somebody. John O'Brien is off to make some dinner. Enjoy your tea, John. Oh, it's double thick. Okay. Oh, this sounds so funny. Oh, so not so funny, so interesting. Sally's popped a link in. So if you guys want to right click that link and go and check it out, you can. Leanne's heard of it, but not used it. It's thick and warm, apparently. So, Chris, because like you made a tea cozy using the stitch, would you think like a pot holder or something along those lines would work, or is it sort of not quite thick enough for that? Yeah. Oh yeah, Freaky. She's not home though, so she might get ideas, but she's at school, so yeah. Oh, I really love the thermal stitch. I used to make a bag that meant I didn't need to line it and it wasn't holey. Oh, I think my mum would love that. I never even thought of it as just a additional. I was just on the path of heat protection, but absolutely, of course. Now, Kelly has also reminded me to remind you, sorry, Kelly, just seeing your name reminded me that we have just a couple of places left for this year's retreat in September. So if you want to come to the Fiberific low key and chill retreat in Queensland here in Australia, to send me a DM so I can send you the form because we are nearly booked out and we'll be starting our backup list very soon. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I can't wait. Planning like because we do a little optional workshop, but you are more than welcome just to say nope and kick back and keep doing whatever you're doing. So yeah. Back to this. Also great for kitchen pot holders or pads to pop your hot pots onto. I've always wanted to have a go at it. Yeah, it sounds amazing. I'll probably see it and be like, oh, I recognize this, but I've never heard of a thermal stitch. This is my first try. I used 100% cotton to use as a pot holder. It's supposed to be thick enough. Okay. That sounds awesome. I can't wait to have a look. Hey, Kathy, just checking. Am I allowed to make a little thing that's not one of my big projects? Just, I'm not sure what the rules are anymore. I don't know. Or am I literally only allowed to work on projects I've already started? Because I do have quite a few of those as well. So like I haven't finished my amigurumi swan yet. No, unicorn. I've made lots of the pieces and I've kind of just got to stitch it together. Kirby said, is that the no, that's a different, that was in New Zealand. That one was that's a Margicraft retreat. And they don't hold it there anymore either, so I can still go. And I made it large in case it shrinks. Yep. If you're making up rules, you can change them as you go. Leanne says that she can hear the united voices saying no. Oh, Jancy, I've got an information sheet. So if you message me, I can send it to you and you can have a good look. It's got all the information on there. So, but I haven't put it out publicly because it's such a small retreat that my concern is that because it's the actual information sheet's also got the bank deposit information. And my issue is if too many people pay a deposit, I somehow have to try and get it back to them, and it's awkward. So I've made it so that people can message me if they want to, and then I get them to send, like, then they let me know if they do want a spot, and then I hold that spot while they organize their deposit. And then once they've paid their deposit, their spot is firm. So yeah, so it's just send me a message either on Facebook or Instagram or email, and I will forward that to you. So yes, it's fun. It's fun. Oh, Chris has posted the pic in the fun zone. Resisting the urge to pick up my phone. That's just it's just a little bit further than the mouse. I have had to unweave a few times now, putting the tablet weaving aside. Oh, I've just realized I've got volume. That's all right. It's not very loud. Hopefully it doesn't bother you guys. I'm not going to mess around with it. I thought I'd muted my iPad, but I obviously did not. So yes. What if I show up and want or need a soft spot? Well, I mean, Freaky, if you made it all the way to Australia without letting anybody know you were coming, that would be weird. Like, it would be odd. Yeah. Oh, you guys, yesterday I actually recorded some videos, right? And it was a comedy of errors because one time I ran through, realized no audio got picked up. The next time I ran through, I realized that when I'm using this microphone directly through the software and not going through some other stuff first, the air conditioner noise is crazy loud. So then I had to turn it off and try again. And yeah, 5 goes to get one video made. But yeah, I think that's a record for me, 5 for the same video. But it's done now. I've got to edit it yet, but it's done. So, there's that. Oh, you can't hear it pinging? Awesome. That's good to know. And Chris has popped a link into the video on the fun zone. So I'm assuming that Sally was on it again and put this link in because I forgot. And I didn't even check. Kathy said that maybe I should put the thermal stitch on my calendar. You know, you just can't make one. Oh, okay. Yeah, we could find freakier spot with the lizards. Absolutely. Put it on the planner. The planner's over there. I can't reach it, but maybe I'll do that. For this one or the tech one. Okay, so the one with all the stuff ups is for the live streaming channel, but there is one for this channel as well. So I made multiple videos yesterday. So yeah, the stuff up one is not for here. It's for the other one. Probably just though because it was the first out of the batch that it got all the stuff ups. So when I sat down and did the next one, everything worked. Funny that. So yeah. Oh dear. Oh, I think I'm at the end. Da, da, da. 1, 2, 3. I am at the end. All right, let me just check the end here. So that's there. That's those two. The next two. So it's 1, 2, 3. Now I'm at the end of the thing. Sorry, let me just. Oh, Jancy, that's gold. That's gold because Mother's Day gift for my mum is already on the calendar. I just hadn't specified what I wanted to make her. That's it. That's what I'm making. I'm going to find a bag, pattern, and make it using that. Oh, Jancy's a legend. Yep. I will add thermal stitch onto the Mother's Day project though. 1, 2. Three. Yeah. Yeah, that's what Kelly was saying as well. I reckon I've got to check out the stitch, obviously. But I reckon that would work, right? Like, I'm not insane, am I? I mean, I am. But, you know. All right. 1, then 2, then Doobie Watts, then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the end. We did a row. We have a row completed. It is complete. All right, hang on. I just need to go back to the start and slide the slider and change the color. I rewound these balls so that they were less, higgledy-piggledy, skew-whiffy. I've got to work out when I'm supposed to change color because I've got this horrible feeling that I have to change color. Need some suggestions for all the hand spun I've just created. So you made like 5 or 6 different colors, didn't you? Do you want knitting, crochet, spinning, weaving? Okay, so the problem I have is the notes with all my color changing information is inside. So anyone who's done the queen, so I'm doing the traditional queen. The middle color, so far it's this wide. My concern is I'm nearly all the way through the ball. Now I'm assuming I do have a second ball because I did buy 2 of everything. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'm having a heart attack and I don't need to. Okay, so not crochet. All right. Lisa says, okay, so now I have to chase thermal stitch and tablet weaving. Will I ever get any housework done? Not if we've got anything to do with it. Ha ha ha. I'm just doing the join of the new color. Alrighty. Okay. Oh, make that. I'm just going to keep going for now. I mean, if I have to pull out the stitches, I pull out the stitches, right? I mean, to me, it looks like it needs more, at least one more row. Before it changes back to the other yellow. But we'll see. Don't do any dusting. You might disturb a relative who's visiting. Yes, this housework is overrated. Agreed. You know, excuse me. Sorry. So the thing, the thing that'll let me know I've made it, right, is getting a cleaner in once a week. And somebody to mow the lawns who actually whippersnips, or maybe even just someone to whippersnip. My husband doesn't seem to hate mowing so much, but he definitely hates the whippersnipping and doing the edges. So they're the things that let me know I've made it, that I'm doing okay. Is when I can get someone to come in and clean once a week, even just do the floors in the bathrooms. They're my two least favorite things. Yeah. Floors and bathrooms. Everything, I mean, anything else they want to do, sure, you can do that too. But those are the 2 things that I would love. When I was pregnant with Abby, I got very, very, very unwell. So I was bedridden for the majority of the pregnancy. And so we had to have a cleaner in. And it was amazing. It was one of those things where you just, it felt so posh. It just felt so posh. Pearl is saying it's the ironing too. I don't do ironing. I mean, I iron my daughter's school uniforms every second week. Other than that, they go in the dryer and the pleats stay pleaty enough. And my husband is a grown man and he irons his own clothes. I don't iron my husband's clothes. So yeah, I'm that wife. Also, he finds ironing relaxing, apparently, and he is a better ironer than I am. So one time I remember I was like, when we were first married, I was like, oh, I'll get in and do the ironing. I was just like, that was a bad decision. By the way, I don't recommend that. And then he very kindly took the iron out of my hands and just said, it's okay, I've got it. And then I found out that he didn't like how I actually ironed his shirt. So it was just like, cool, that's fine. You can do it. You can totes do that one yourself. That's a job. That's not for me. So yeah, love the support for no housework. Crochet forever, housework whenever. Oh, Pearly's cleaner does the ironing too. Awesome. Francis says, I don't iron my kids' uniforms. They go to school crumpled. Jancy says that clothes that need ironing are once wear. So you wear it once, and once it's crunchy, you never wear it again. Oh, that's awesome. See, I've got clothes that would probably benefit from an iron, but I peg them out very carefully and do the thing to get as many creases out as possible when I hang them out. So yeah. Lots of win. That should be on a shirt. I actually think it is. I don't think I made that up. I think I've read that somewhere. I used to put a crease in my son's jean, like the front. Are you talking about the front jean seam? Like, yeah, that's not good. But like, there's things that you can do that make it so that the other person's like, it's okay, you don't need to iron that for me anymore, and you're like, yes. Oh, Kerry, have an awesome day at work. So yeah, it's we're all like team no iron, team no clean. So yeah, but yeah, that's the thing for me. They're like, when I can do that, when I could have somebody else come in and do those jobs for me, I would be really happy. So hang on, I'm just checking where I'm at because I'm just starting a new thing here. A new repeat. New repeat's the word. I don't even know where the iron is anymore. Hubby working from home for the last 2 years, and he would always iron his own because he hated how I did it. Smartest move I ever did. Agreed. What was quite funny is my husband says to me a few weeks back, he's gone, have you noticed how bad a condition the ironing board is in? And I was just like, no. And he was just like, it's really bad. And I'm like, then buy a new one. And then he's come home and he was just like, do you know how expensive ironing boards are? And I'm like, yes, for a decent one. You wouldn't have gotten any change out of $100. And he was just like, it was $120. I was just like, well, it's a good ironing board. So he was like, what should we do with the other one? And I'm like, stick it out on the road with a sign on it. And someone came and got it. So yeah. I do the 30 minutes a day, but I reverse it and do 30 minutes of housework and do craft. Gold. That's gold. I only use an iron for sewing. I have different iron for the sewing. I don't use the ironing board. I've got ironing pads. So I use my ironing pads for ironing in the sewing, and it's in my craft room. It's a little hand iron. So yeah. But yeah, and I think if you are sewing and not ironing, there's a problem. I think especially if you're sewing seams or anything like that, you definitely need to be ironing. But it's different when it's just a little piece of fabric versus an entire shirt. I've also got like an ironing press that I use as well, which is fantastic for adding interfacing. I iron Abby's school skirts on the ironing press sometimes, and I don't like ironing her shirts on it because her shirts are all shaped, so they're not flat. Anyway, yeah, no, that was the same for us because I was given mine like a million years ago, so I never even bought the one that I had. And then we've had it for 20 years, and it was, doing that thing where it's like, and and then as you ironed, it dropped and dropped and dropped. So it wasn't doing its job anymore. By the time I sit in a ute for 3 hours, I don't look like I ironed, so now I don't bother. Yeah, if I'm wearing my linen stuff, I don't bother ironing it because if I've got to drive anywhere, I've got creases. So, yes, but I'm more of a t-shirts kind of girl anyway, honestly, and I never ironed my t-shirts. Where am I up to? Oh, no, we don't do 3 there. I don't think. Hang on, let me look. 3, then 2, then 2, then 2. 3, then 2, then 2, then 2. Oh, Francis has got a big comment. Hang on, let me have a look. I'm a very basic sewer and was given a friend's mum's old machine, and it's so fancy. It has all these extra feet for different types of sewing. I highly recommend looking into what you've got because I'm also a very basic sewer, and I've learnt the advantages of changing feet for different jobs. It actually makes sewing easier. That's why they make the other feet. So yeah, I've got different feet for different jobs now, and I like it. And I'm not afraid of zippers anymore. I used to be really afraid of zippers. Like, oh no, I'm not making that. It's got a zip in it. Now I'm just like, oh yeah, whatever, zip, let's go. Pop on the zipper foot, and here we go. Dolores says, I used to iron most things. I'm over that now. I'm glad you're better. When I lived at home, ironing was my chore, and the worst thing to iron were my mum's linen shirts. I now avoid ironing where I can. And linen's yucky to iron, I reckon. That's my professional opinion. Linen's yucky to iron. I like wearing it. I'm also learning that good linen is a pain in the butt to wash because you can't wash it in cold water. You can't wash it in hot water. You've got to wash it in warm water. You can't put it in the dryer. All long sleeves here to keep the sun off. Oops. Yep, fair enough. Yeah, ironing's the worst. I think ironing's probably the worst job. I'd rather clean a toilet than do a basket of ironing. That's how I feel. Good morning, Net. 1, 2. We are talking about getting cleaners and what that would do for us. For me, it would make me feel like I've made it. I am officially doing well if I can afford to get a cleaner in once a week. That would be amazing. But Pearly upped it with her cleaner does the ironing, and now we're all like, oh my god, ironing. Pearly says no, toilets are the worst. Yeah, but you can get a toilet clean pretty quickly, like really, like if you do them regularly enough. Whereas for me, like a basket of ironing takes hours because I'm rubbish at ironing. And I'm also working on my queen. Oh, goodness me. I'm like sitting here like dozing because the working on the queen is like a little bit what's the word I'm looking for? Where it's relaxing. Not therapeutic. It's like a rocking of a boat. Like that kind of feeling where you're like, you know. So it's familiar and comfortable, and it's like you're sitting in the sun on a rocking chair where it's not too hot, like winter sun. Yeah, that kind of feeling. Net got rid of her ironing board. Well done, Net. Oh, Francis says, I just got a delivery, a kilo of 17.5 micron merino. That sounds amazing. There's lots of things that you can watch TV at the same time as. I'm still not doing it. My treadmill's right in front of the TV. I'm actually not allowed to use a treadmill anymore. But, I still didn't do it. It's right there. Soporific. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. Last time I ironed my daughter's shirt for work, I put military creases. She didn't like that. Well, she can iron her own shirt. Oh, Kerry needs some help. Does anybody have good mosaic pillow cushion pattern? I don't know. I don't have one, but if anyone in the chat knows of one that Kerry can look up, that would be awesome. So, yeah. I'm just trying to think about what we've got this week. So, where am I up to? I'm doing 2. But Jacobs is recommending you go and check out Tina because she's got lots of mosaic patterns. She's probably got a cushion or 2. We say Tina because we don't know how to say her surname. Her work is phenomenal, but it's very difficult for me to say her name without butchering it. And then I feel even worse. So we just say Tina. There was who was it? I saw another mosaic crochet designer has just put a whole pile of stuff out. I think it's a different style. Yeah. Ruth is saying that you can turn the amma squares into pillows. That makes perfect sense. Absolutely. Yeah, I think like for mosaic, that for all of us, we automatically think Tina, and that's the first place I check because I love how her patterns are written. They're so clear, easy to do, easy to use. I'm a massive fan. I obviously don't get anything finished. News. This one. The news is in. I found my missing crochet hook pouch. Yay! It was hiding under some crap on my craft desk. Like I was sitting there on a Zoom, and you know how you catch something out of the corner of your eye? I just saw the glint of a zip in the sunlight, and I was just like, I don't think there was a zip in that basket. And I lift like this yarn bar off the top, and there it was. Like, no, crochet hooks are all back. So yeah, crochet hooks are back. I'm very happy about it, honestly, because I was really annoyed because it's all my clover hooks and a couple of my like some other hooks as well. So, Leanne, what are the red handled ones? Are they tulip red handles? Because my red handle ones were in there as well. Sally's popped in a link for you, Kerry, if you want to go and check that out. And Francis says there was a nice cushion and spin-off from K Facet. Yeah, so you got some good options there. I hope that someone can help. So that is awesome. Yeah, the red ones are tulip. Thanks, Leanne. And Sally. I obviously take great notice of the thing. It's because in my brain, my tulip hooks are like, I've got the Edamo hooks, so I automatically think of the grey handles with the little gold heads. I don't always think of the red ones as tulip for some reason. I don't know why. It seems to make more sense, really. But, you know, maybe not. Maybe not. I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm very frustrated by the color coming out of this camera because when I'm not using this blanket, this camera is really good. It just hates this blanket. Sally's also popped up another link there for you, Kerry, as well. So something else for you to try. Thank you, Sally. Two, then two. Sorry, I've new line, new pattern to remember. I'm getting there. How long does it take for you guys to remember a repeat so that you don't have to keep looking at the pattern? Just out of curiosity. I'm just here. Now I'm going to have a drink in a second. And put the crochet down. I just want to get to the end of that repeat. Okay, so that's where we're up to. Linda says 4 to 5 times of doing it. Actually, Talia, that makes perfect sense. Depends on how big and complicated it is, of course. Kirby says I never remember 90% of the time. I'm just having a look how many I've done. So that was the start one. That doesn't count. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm up to like the 6th time and I'm still not remembering it. Francis says, forever, I have no short-term memory. Fair enough. I saw someone says, by the time I've memorized, I have to try and remember the new line. That's about where I'm at, Freaky. That's about where I'm at. Yeah. I still like having the pattern nearby. Yep. I keep mine just right here as well. Absolutely. Depends on the row. Yep. I realized once the words came out of my mouth, it was one of those questions like, how long is a piece of string? Because it depends. Like, yeah. Yeah. I definitely like having a pattern nearby. I don't like to, like, if I've just got to finish a row and say I wanted to finish a row, but I'd taken the iPad inside on this particular project, I could have a look at the previous repeats and keep going. But I wouldn't start the next row without it. Indeed, always good to have the instructions on hand. Yeah, I think so. I think so. So for next week's live stream, you guys, I was thinking that we probably will start working on the smelly fleece, but rather than open it up in the shack and make the shack all stenchy and gross, what I'm thinking of doing is actually opening it up and picking out some that I want to wash, and then I'll bring that portion into the shack and we can wash it here. Like, so I'm going to bring in, I've got to bring in something to protect the table a little, but I'll bring in a container of hot water and we'll wash a few of the locks in part of the live stream, and then we'll go back to crocheting as well, because I don't want to spend the entire time scouring the locks, because I won't be doing, like, some people do big bunches in like tulle and stuff like that. I won't be. I will be doing individual. Well, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the fleece, because if the fleece is bad, like as in not good quality or anything like that, I'll have a good look at it and decide. If I think it would be better drum carded rather than spun from the lock, I'll have a look at that. And if we're going to spin from the lock, I'll show you how I dye it that way. But if I'm going, not dye it, how I scour it. But if I look at it and go, no, this just needs a mass, like it's not going to be good enough to do that level of work on. And it just needs carding rather than like combing. I tend to comb better quality things and card the lesser quality things, if that makes sense. And then I will, like, what we can do is if I do decide to card it, I'll just show you how I make one of my tulle pouches, and I won't actually scour it on camera. And then the next week I'll bring in, I've got a little mini drum carder. I don't have a full size one, but we'll bring in the little mini drum carder and I'll show you how I card up a fleece to use it up. So does that sound interesting, or should we just keep working on the queen? Lisby, welcome to the chat. Yes, it is, and it's been dealt with. It's going to be interesting. Oh, absolutely. So what I'll do is when I'm sorry, Leanne, I'll pop your comment on here. What I'll do is when I open up the fleece, I might even go and add in. Actually, I'll probably just take some photos. I was thinking I could probably go live outside while I'm doing it just on my phone or something, but I just want to focus on the fleece and get it sorted. I don't want to have to worry about anything else. But maybe I could go live on Instagram for a little bit while I'm doing it outside on my phone. We'll see. Oh, second camera. Sorry, guys. That sounds like a good plan. It'll be fun. Yes. The drum carder is on my wish list. Yeah. I personally would love to upgrade to the Margicraft drum carder. I've used it and oh my god, it is amazing. But the one I've got is fine. Like it's definitely decent. Like it's not a bad drum carder. It's just a small one. That's all. I got what's it called? I think it's a Strouch. half width. It's a half width stretch. I can't remember the exact names of it. You do TikTok, right? You could do some shorts here and there. Well, I mean, I could absolutely do some shorts for sure. Net, there's no one here through the day to help out, unfortunately. So, but I mean, I can set some cameras up to do it. It's doable. Hey, don't be late from New South Wales. Fleece sounds great. Always wanted to see it. Yep. Freaky says I don't have space for a drum carder, but I have to learn how to use the blending board. Blending boards are awesome. They do a different thing than your drum carder, but similar, very similar. Yeah, that is kind of amusing, isn't it? Don't be late is late. Freaky's like, are you volunteering to be a camera person? That's all right. I've got some tripods and stuff. I can set up some cameras outside. 2, not 3, Chantel. Game Widow says the blending board is fun. Have enjoyed using mine the last few weeks. I think blending boards are heaps of fun, and especially for me, if I don't have tons to do, like the blending board is perfect. I'm not going to dig out my drum carder and deal with the drum carder if I don't have to, if that makes sense. Like if I can just do what I want to do on a blending board. Now, the advantages of a drum carder over a blending board is a blending board, you can sort of set it up and do it once. Whereas a drum carder, you can actually run it through and then take the bat off and then separate it out. So if you're mixing and blending fibers, you can actually blend them together more. But yeah, it's fun. You need to stock up on some fibers for the blending board. Yeah, fibers are fun. Sounds interesting from Leslie. Absolutely. What I should possibly do is find out if anyone who wants to come to retreat wants to have a go of my drum carder, and I can pack it in the car and bring it along. So when I go to big spinning retreats, we do this. There's this fun thing that they do because everybody's a spinner and has fiber, and they make what's called a sandwich. And they not a food sandwich, Freaky, but what they do is every person brings like 100-ish grams of fiber, and you lay it out and do a layer of this thing, and then the next person comes along and they lay out their layer, and then they actually go in and break out sections of like all the different layers. And some people like it like that. Some people run it through a drum carder. So it's you can have 40 people who all start off with exactly the same little pile of fluffs, making totally different things. Knit Spin Girl's done one. Fiber sandwiches are fun. They are fun. Don't get your hair stuck in a drum carder. Look, yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, it's a bit like that. I need a bigger craft room house for all the equipment that yep, agreed. I also do. And I've got the equipment. I think that's part of the problem. Freaky says I need to win the lottery several times. Oh gosh. Well, Net, I'm down near Beanley, and I am near a train station. So yeah, it could be a long trip depending on where you are. No, 2, not 3. So this is my problem. My brain is just like 3. Interesting YouTube info on the chat running up the screen shows the trolls comment even if the moderator takes it out. Okay, that is interesting because the moderators are dealing with the trolls, so they are taking them out. Can you see that they're taking them out on your iPad screen and it's just not removing it from the TV screen? or you don't see it being removed at all. We've had a lot of a lot of bots today. They're not so much trolls, they're bots. So bots just put in random, like what's being shown up here that just means nothing, right? Whereas trolls write nasty things. Trolls are nasty, bots are annoying. And then there's the scammers. Talia says it's just showing that someone comments, not what they said, or showing that someone commented. Yeah, so, and that's because you still get to see their name, but it's like, because I can see the back end of it, it says message was deleted by, and then which mod, and then I can view the deleted messages as well. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're definitely bots. These ones are bots. YouTube's got to do something about it. It's becoming ridiculous. I mod for a live stream that has sort of 300 to 400 viewers, and like there's a team of us mods, and we're all in like Facebook groups together talking, and a lot of those other guys mod for a lot of people, and everybody's having the problem. There's nothing the creators can do to stop the bots. It has to be YouTube who stops the bots. And the only real way they can do that is by making it so people have to verify their account when they create an account. And YouTube are starting to bring that in for people that want to upload videos, which is, I don't see a problem with that personally. If I want to use this platform's free to use, we don't have to pay to upload our content to it. If they want to make sure that you're a human and you have to show your driver's license or something like that, I've got no problems. But for people who don't upload to their channels, they don't have to show any kind of proof they're a real person. All they need is an email address. And so, yeah, that hundreds of thousands of bots are created every day. It's very hard. Oh yeah, Tally says it says message deleted. Yes, half the toll are now bots. Oh wow, that's a fun one. Thank you, Sally. Oh wow, we are getting some serious. That one's like a spam bot because of, like, it's got a trash name. Like, yeah. I don't know if we're being rated as such, but it definitely feels like it, doesn't it? So Sally is amazing, and Leanne's like learning as she goes. I don't understand, like, seriously, like, just on a total side note, I don't understand how, like, if I report that particular channel, that, the Hot Girls and Boys video chat channel, if I report that to YouTube as against their terms of service, because all that sort of stuff is, YouTube come back going, they've done nothing wrong, because they don't actually post any videos. They get people to go to another website. And so YouTube don't delete the account, and you're just like smashing your head against a wall. Ruth is off. Bye, Ruth. Have an awesome night. Linda says, I would prefer to not give YouTube my official ID, such as a license. If you're not uploading videos, you won't need to, but they're making it so that if you want to upload videos, then you need to show proof of ID. So as long as you're not uploading videos, they won't ask. And I think the proof of ID thing is coming out for new channels that are being created, not old channels. So because I've noticed it's only been in the new channels created in the last month have some extra boxes that they need to tick. And then, but my new channel that I made late last year, I didn't have to do any of that. So it's a brand new thing, and I'm sure that they are working on that. I mean, I have no issues. It's a driver's license because you've got proof of ID always got government documents. So it's either because it's got to have a photo, so it's either a passport or a driver's license. So yeah. Do they count as watch hours? I have no idea, honestly, because they're normally in and out so fast. They'd give you watch seconds. Yeah, Kerry, it is bizarre, isn't it? It's very bizarre. Mods do have the right to ban them. So this is the thing. So, and this is what Sally does. They're now hidden from the channel. That same bot can't come back in, but someone with a very similar name could come back in. So another channel with a similar name could totally come back in, but not that one. So we do hide them from the channel. So what happens is when they're hidden from the channel is they can continue to post, but we don't see it. Yeah, Kirby, exactly right. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that bizarre? It's so crazy. Have I checked out Rumble? I don't know what Rumble is. No idea. Yeah. Look, and I know that a lot of people are funny about the internet having access to their ID and things like that. And I get it. But as I'm running a business, so many places have my official ID now anyway, just to have proper accounts and, taxation information and things like that. I'm so used to it that if a legitimate business asks for it, I find out why, obviously. But YouTube, I understand why. So, and as YouTube is my business, it's not just a fun hobby. If it was a fun hobby, I'd be like, yeah, nah, that's not happening. I just won't upload videos. But if it's for any other reasons, I think that if you are uploading content that's public, I think that you should be held accountable. Let me look here. I think social media accounts should be verified to stop a lot of bullying and harassment that goes on. Accountability is a good thing. Yeah, like I think you should have to prove you're a real person. To be able to, because this is the thing, like I know that this is controversial. And I understand that. So I'm trying to walk very carefully, and I understand that it's controversial, but as a parent of a teenager and seeing some of the stuff that can happen from like no one accounts, that is insane. Yeah, it's just insane. It's just I think you should have to prove you're a person before you get to open a social media account or prove you're a legitimate business. So yeah. And Tanya, yeah, absolutely. If your feet are on Twitch, your channel will be shut down. If you have bare feet on Twitch, absolutely, you will have that stream closed instantly. I don't know about YouTube quite so much, but I know Twitch actually have like legit no feet rules. The blanket, yes. So it's mostly just it's just particular positions of single crochets or double crochets and trebles. It's just like the pattern tells you which one goes where, and it's just into the back loop for the singles and into the front loop for the trebles. It's like YouTube. I'll be really honest, Chris. I won't go off YouTube. I love YouTube too much, so I will stay with YouTube. After working for a bank opening account, most people can be verified by what's in their wallets, but they normally have some sort of photo ID in their wallet. Like I know for myself, yep, I absolutely have 100 points of ID in my wallet between my driver's license, my Medicare card, bank cards, stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely, Chris. If it was just a personal account, that's a different story. But if you were doing this to share videos, and create income, like I'm not kidding, like there's people complaining about having to verify their accounts, but for you to get an AdSense account, which is how you have to get paid, you've got some hoops you've got to jump through. So yeah, it's totally a thing. The issue with bare feet is that some people find bare feet exciting. That's as far as I'm going to go with that. But where your brain just went is probably where I'm trying to. Yeah, freaky's got it. Absolutely, it is. It's exactly what it is. I personally think they're gross. I'm not a fan of feet, but some people really, really like them, which is, different. 3, 2, 2. Why is there 2 here? What did I do wrong? So 1, 2. Hang on. In all that, I think I botched my counting. 1, 2. I see what I did. Over here, I pulled too tight and I missed one of my stitches. So 1, 2, then 1, 2. It's all good. I fixed it. Oh, look, they're back again. Thank you, Leanne. So see, it's slightly different. It is, holy crap, it is so nearly the same. Yeah, this is a bad day to be live streaming, I think. But Sally and Leanne are on it. So I'm sorry if the name of this particular channel is offensive. I find it offensive personally. Yeah, absolutely offensive. But I've tried reporting them before. Nothing happens. I just get told they've done nothing wrong. Really? Really? But yeah, no, it's a very interesting discussion to have around different things when it comes to, ID versus not ID, things like that. But I think it's a very different mindset for people who run things as a business versus people who are running things for a hobby. So yeah. Kirby, I agree. Why bother? Why bother? I don't understand what they get out of it. I've never understood. A good topic change. So who's hungry? What's for lunch, everybody? What's everybody doing for their next meal? I don't know what I'm going to have for my lunch today. Got a nice loaf of fresh bread this morning from the bakery, so I might actually just have a boring old sandwich with probably cheese and salami, because that's my favorite sandwich on fresh bread. Cheese and salami. How you going there, Lou? You all right? You're a bit cold? The aircon's a bit cold. The aircon in this shack, it's either ridiculously cold or blowing sort of tepid air, which is not fun. So yeah, it is currently set to really cold, and my feet are cold. But I know it's really hot outside. Oh wow, my voice just left. It literally just left. Hang on, let me grab a drink of water. No lunch for Talia. Cheese on toast, beef stroganoff. My next meal will be breakfast tomorrow morning. Fair enough. Sorry. Oh, what's a sumo orange? Very curious about that. Sally said a sandwich as well. A cold spaghetti sandwich. Really? I can imagine heating it up with some cheese and flat pressing it. I just had long soup. What's long soup? Oh, it's a kind of orange, but it was $3 for one orange. Okay. Right. Tuna salad, back on the diet again. I like some tuna salads, but not all. Like some are better than others, I reckon. It was 50 degrees F outside today. What's that in NCs? Okay, Google. What is 50 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius?
50 degrees Fahrenheit is equivalent to 10 degrees Celsius.
Ew, I wouldn't go outside in that. No, I might. Yeah, I do at Bendigo, but only because I have to. I need to use up some leftovers, pork and Tom's soup, so into the pasta sauce for dinner. Nice. No idea, but there's been a food delivery made to this virus isolating household, and there is a lot of it. Oh, Pearly, I didn't know that the virus was at your house. I'm so sorry. Oh, well, I'm glad that lots of food has arrived at least. Sumo oranges are yummy. Long soup is pretty much Chinese 2-minute noodles. Okay. I have frozen bolognese I can heat up. I mean, me too, actually. No, I'm going to stick with because my body's like, it's cold. I want something hot for lunch, but I'm going to step out the door and turn into a puddle. It's hot outside. 50F is like spring to Kathy. Oh my gosh, Kathy. Ew. In the middle of winter, overnight temperatures could drop to about 6C here, so a little under the 10, but our daytime winter temperatures are double that. Pearly did mention it. I missed it. I'm sorry. I did miss it. I'm sorry about that. Thank you for letting me know, Freaky. Hubby just brought home fresh rolls. Nice. I love fresh bakery food. I worked at a bakery all through my teens, and I love the smell of fresh bakery bread, and I love fresh bakery bread rolls. And I am such a tragic loser. All fancy bread rolls, all crazy beautiful things with different seeds and what have you. No, I like a flat hamburger bun. The little rectangular-y sort of flat hamburger buns, but fresh from the bakery, like straight out of the ovens if I can. But I like a flat hamburger bun. I don't know why. My husband will send him out for buns, and he'll come back with some big crispy thing, and I'm just like, nope. I have to go and get real ones now. Oh, that's a tough one, Net. That's a tough one. It's up to you. It's up to you. My question is, and looking at me, I'm probably not the best person for this sort of advice. Mind you, my weight is not a lot to do with my food. But my question is having a meal with your friends the same meal as your friends are having, is that breaking the diet? Or can you adjust the rest of your day to increase your exercise a little over the next couple of days just to help you feel less guilt for it? I don't consider one odd meal with your friends as breaking a diet unless you went crazy and had the pie and had 4 cream buns and drank a milkshake. Don't go crazy. Enjoy the pie. Enjoy the time communing with your friends. But then if you're so worried that this one little thing is going to blow your entire diet, if you need that mental change, then would you not just walk for an extra half an hour for a couple of days? That's my thoughts. So I don't know. What does everybody else think? Knitting to my heart's content right now. I've had to stay away from everybody. I mean, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. So I agree with you. So I'm not celiac, but I can only have so much bread in a day before it affects me. So if I have toast for breakfast, I can't have bread for lunch. I have to have something else. So I tried not to have toast for breakfast, but guess what I had for breakfast today? So like my plan for a sandwich may not be the wisest. I love fresh bakery. Yeah, there's just something about it, isn't it? We always buy bakery bread. We just, the only time we buy bread from either the supermarket or something like that, even the bakery section in the supermarket doesn't compare to our local bakery. So yeah. Oh, that reminds me, I've got Wacky Weavers this week. That's awesome. Freaky says, forget the pie, get dessert. Lisa says, don't even get me started on the 5 kilos I put on after eating gluten-free white bread sandwiches for lunch for a month. Oh. Yeah, see, this is the thing, and I think this is something really important, is you're not breaking your diet if it's a unusual thing and it's in moderation. It's only breaking your diet if you then sit down to like an entire smorgasbord and gorge yourself. That's diet breaking. But yeah, oh, here we go. We have some proper medical advice. Let's go with this one. Don't think of diets as rigid and absolute, bend and modify to suit your life, or as you won't follow it otherwise. That. I just heard a horn. I am expecting a parcel. I don't think it's here. It didn't sound quite close enough to be here. But yes, Pearly's advice for medical stuff we can follow. Mine is opinion. But yeah, I agree with you, Pearly. If you think of it as so rigid that you can't live your life and socialize, you won't keep it. You won't stay on it. And it will be a burden, and you will either not go out, or the second you start going out again, you'll fall off the wagon entirely. So yeah. Yeah, there are loads of sugar in gluten-free products. Yeah, it's really hard to get gluten-free and sugar-free. So I'm doing a keto diet, which means no carbs. I don't understand the keto diet enough to know if having one meal with carbs in it will affect it. I have no idea. But I'm not in keto today, so I figure it won't matter. See, I think you probably know more about it than I do. I think that it's more of a mental block sometimes when it comes to the foods. Probably, I should probably point out something. My weight is not a lot to do with my food, because according to my doctors, I don't actually eat enough. So, yeah. I'm like, really? How is that possible? Have you seen me? They're like, not all weight gain is due to food. So, yeah. I have a fairly healthy diet, really, for the most part, except for takeaway night. I always have a takeaway night every week. Once a week, we have takeaway night. And why do we have takeaway night once a week? Because I don't want to cook 7 nights a week. In saying that, oh my gosh, all right. Serious camera, boom, boom, boom. Yesterday I did tons and tons of stuff, and I was a bit tired and was doing stuff, and I messaged Tim yesterday afternoon. I was like, hey, I'm not doing dinner tonight. Can you organize dinner? Well, between Tim and Abby, Tim did the shopping and Abby cooked. And I was just like, oh, okay. Also, the food was amazing. And I was just like, why can't we do this every week? You guys have one night a week and we have a takeaway night. I do the other 4. That feels like a much more balanced split. So yeah. Knitspin Girl says, a little bit of what you crave is better than a full-on binge. 1 or 2 squares is better than an entire block. And the other thing is, while you're trying to avoid the chocolate and eating some grapes and eating some nuts and eating a banana and eating all these other things to try and get rid of that craving, you would have consumed less calories and fat by having 1 or 2 squares of chocolate, get rid of the craving and move on. Anyway, sorry. So that's my little that's like, I get to have chocolate, leave me alone. Yes, totally true. Yes. Yes, I agree. I shouldn't have used the word diet. I'm a celiac, and gluten-free processed food is full of sugar. Yes, celiacs have it like hard. Like, I totally get it. Yeah. Have you got home from work? Have an awesome time. See you next week. Kids taking over the cooking is my dream. My daughter has a Cert 2 in hospitality that she got nearly 2 years ago. She does hospitality at high school. Never once has she managed to bring home anything for us to try. It always gets consumed at school. And she's just started on this thing. She's obsessed with broccolini. So last night she sauteed broccolini in garlic and herbs, and then put a little bit of water in the pan and pop the lid on it and let it steam. Anyway, it was amazing. It was so good. Yeah. Oh, and Chris is reminding everyone to thumbs up. So if you haven't thumbs up yet, thumbs up. So YouTube says I've only got 21 concurrent viewers. I don't think that's true. Don't think that's true, YouTube. I think you're drunk. And to try again. Vampire says diets tend not to work for me. I just packed the weight on after a few months. I had to make a complete lifestyle change. Always allow for a few spoils every week. So yeah, absolutely. Like, and that happens to a lot of people. They see the diet, and then they finish the diet, and then it's yo-yo dieting. It's exactly where the term comes from. Absolutely. Nettie says, I had a dietitian. Oh, here we go. Tell me I wasn't eating enough and put me on milkshakes. Because this is the thing, us as laymen, right? We see out there that we're big, so we must consume less, right? That's what we're told. Less calories in, and exercise, and and you'll be fine. You'll be skinny. That's not how it is for a lot of people. It definitely works for some people. That definitely works for some people. But less calories in doesn't always work, okay? So, yeah. Sorry, this is a new level of soapbox for me. I am definitely not used to talking about this one. I try not to talk about my weight or my size. For no reason other than I don't like to attract attention to the fact. That's basically what it boils down to. And I mean, like, I know you guys are looking at me, like, you instantly know, yes, she is morbidly obese. Like, you look at her, you know. There's no hiding it. I could wear a sack, or I can wear a comfy t-shirt. I'm still the same shape underneath, right? So, yeah. But I have been through so many doctors and so many dietitians and so many meal plans and so many different things. And some of them work and some of them don't. And some of them aren't sustainable. Some of them are too expensive and I can't afford to stay on it. But the biggest issue that I have about my weight, and this is where my doctors get angry at me, is I skip meals, right? I forget to eat. So there's something in my body. It doesn't always tell me when I'm hungry. And especially if I get like sucked into a project or something first thing in the morning. And even like when I was dying, so really physical activity, and I'm out there, and I'm like, and Tim will come out and he'll be like, have you had breakfast yet? And I'm like, oh, I don't know yet. I'll have some in a minute. And then he'll come back out and he's like, did you have lunch yet? And I'm like, no, I'll have some in a minute. And then he'll come back out about 5 minutes later. Did you come in and have breakfast? And what'll happen is I will just totally forget to eat, like, for an entire day. And then at 4 o'clock, I get the shakes, because after not eating all night and then not eating all day and then being physically active, something happens. I don't know why I get the shakes, but I get the shakes and then I get hungry. And I don't keep Usually there is currently a packet of biscuits in my kitchen. I don't normally keep biscuits or chips or that sort of stuff in the house. So then it's just like, oh, I'm going to have to make something to eat. It's only 2 hours till dinner. I'll wait until dinner. And that's what happens. And like I might do that once or twice a week. And it's not an intentional thing. It's actually really bad for me. So apparently my body is in this what's called starvation mode. So I basically eat any food and it holds on to it and goes, you cannot exert this. We need it. We don't know when you're going to feed us next. Whereas if you do like a proper, apparently, if you do a proper a proper fasting thing, you know, those sort of 12 and 8 fasting plans, your body gets into a swing and it knows when it's going to get to eat. Whereas I don't do that. I just keep it all confused, like, ha ha ha, you don't know what's going on. You're hypoglycemic. I don't know what that means. But is that why I get the shakes when I haven't eaten? So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly right. Too few calories, because we did, like, you know, I don't lie to my doctors. I don't lie. Like if I go out and have cake, that's on the list. If I eat 3 rows of chocolate, that's on the list. I don't see the point in lying to the healthcare people that are trying to help, right? So even if I feel a bit guilty because I had 3 rows of chocolate, it was so good. Because I love chocolate, right? And cheese. And so, you know, I won't lie, I'll put it on there. But they go, okay, so we've worked this out that even with your 3 rows of chocolate, you still only had 840 calories in the whole day. And for someone my size, I'm supposed to have something like, I think it's like 2,200 or 2,400 calories. And they're like, it's not enough food. You need to eat bigger meals. The problem is I can't eat bigger meals. They make me feel sick. So yeah. So yeah, it's, you know, it's just a thing that happens. Anyway, there's probably a bit of an overshare for you guys. So if anyone else has made it to the end of the live stream, they'll get to learn something interesting about me. Linda says here, thank you for talking about things though. As someone who is skinny in her late teens, early 20s, and having gained a lot of weight for unknown reasons, there's so many reasons to gain weight. There really are. And some of them are hormonal. And like, if you're worried about it, go and talk to someone. There are so many amazing, proper healthcare professionals who will sit down and talk to you and not treat you like a fat slob who just needs to eat less. Because that's always been a problem, is I go to a doctor, they instantly assume I'm going to have type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and bad I can't remember the name of the word. Like the stuff that builds up inside your veins and gives you heart attacks. That stuff. Total blank on it. Cholesterol. That's what I'm looking for, right? So they, like, new doctor, I've got to go through all the things. You know, I have to wear a big cuff when they do my blood pressure and all this sort of stuff. And so I've got to go through all of this every single time. And then they get the reports. They don't believe them, so they run it all again, because my blood sugars are in like that really sweet, like perfect zone. My cholesterol is fine. It's not even remotely high. Like everything is where it should be, except for my blood pressure is a bit on the low side, like to the point where my doctor's considering me putting me on medication to increase my blood pressure, which she doesn't want to do. But so, you know, like there's these things, these stereotypes that happen when you are big. Like I am big and I have a big tummy and I am big arms and big legs and everything's big, right? And then you have these conversations and they're like, well, you actually need to eat more. And I'm like, but I can't eat more. I'm eating so much already. I had one dietitian try to get me to put coconut oil through my stir fries just to increase the caloric value of a stir fry. And I was just like, but then it's greasy and I don't like greasy food. Anyway, the things that happen Okay, says, forever being tested for diabetes, then they're surprised when it come back saying I need a sandwich. Yep. Talia says same thing. And this is the thing, right? And it's not so much a medical problem. It's a perception problem. So people are feeling like regular Joes, like Pearly in the chat here, she knows what she's talking about. So whereas all the rest of us, as far as I'm aware, are not medical professionals. So we are learning stuff from the news and television and social media and the newspaper and magazines and articles that are not medical journals, right? And that is a bit, yeah, I am aware, Pearly, because we have high cancer risk in my family, so we get lots of testing done. So yeah, so there's lots of things that come out of food and diet and stuff like that. And it could be something as simple. This depends on the person, obviously, and you need to speak to a professional. It could be something as simple as there is an additive in something that your body is reacting to. And then all of a sudden you stop that. And I've watched people who stopped one thing in their diet. Like one friend of mine, vegetarian, stopped capsicum. Capsicum. Weight, balanced, everything. Yep. Our bodies, I can't even talk now. Our bodies are these finely tuned things that require amazing balance, like yarn, funnily enough, that if it's just out a little bit, everything's wrong. So, yeah. Yeah. It is. It's definitely a, what do you do? What can I try next? And that's where I'm at, is what do I try next? We were getting meals delivered, like just standard, what's the name of the company? I like them. They're great. U-Foods meals delivered, just to remind me, because one of the issues I have is I'm like, oh, it's lunchtime. I'm going to go and make lunch. And then it's just like, oh, I just don't feel like making anything. I'll have a look later. And then next, it's time to do a school run. So I'll have a coffee and I'll go and do a school run. And then, we come home and then it's homework and arguing, blah, 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 with stuff with, teenagers. And then it's dinner time. And so we found that when I remembered to order the U-Foods, I would just go and go, oh, I'll just have one of those for lunch, peel the lid, throw it in the microwave and have a decent lunch. And that helps. It absolutely helps. But they work out pricey and I can't always afford it. So, yeah. And that's why we hate changing GPs. Absolutely. Absolutely. One of those radiation doctors. Can I trade my finely attuned body in for one that's easier to tune? Yeah, Linda, I totally understand. Every single test says that you're fine, except not fine. Yeah, I do understand. I was actually listening to this amazing podcast. I will copy the link into the Fun Zone. It's a bizarre one for you guys to listen to, but it's a Mind Your Business podcast. It's this amazing guy who James Wedmore, who has these really crazily different guests on. He's a business podcaster who gets all sorts of people, and he had a doctor come on, and they had changed their field from one kind of medicine to another kind of medicine. I can't remember the names of everything. They say it all in the podcast. But basically, they were talking about this exact problem where you do a test and everything's fine, except you don't feel fine. And so they do these, so they actually go in deeper. And those tests, they say, just according to this podcast, which is American-based, they say that those tests are more warnings if there's something big and bad happening, not so much if there's little changes of like hormone levels and fine tuning of stuff. Like if you've got lots of little tiny things out, then there's a problem. But those tests apparently don't always show it. So I'll put a link in. It was a really interesting listen. And I was just like, okay, that's definitely a different way to think about things. So definitely worth a listen if you want to. It's not at all yarn craft related. So yeah. So I don't even know if you want it. Let me know if you guys want me to throw the link in. This has been so weird for me. Like, we totally went tangent land. Like, we do tangents, okay? This is what we do. We do tangents. We go off on like little adventures. But this has been a crazy adventure talking about things. And we'll probably never go there again, or at least not anytime soon. I feel very uncomfortable right now, truth be told. But yes, it's been an awesome chat. Yeah. and, and it's Freaky's fault. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You shouldn't have asked, Freaky. No, I'm kidding. It's totally fine. Oh, yeah, I mean, Sally says here as well, the tests I have tend to be a snowfall effect, because that's the thing. They find out one little thing and they're like, oh, we need to dig into that a bit more. And that's good that they're digging into it more for you, because some people don't, which is how it goes. NYC Prince, you've made it to the end of the chat. Hello. But yeah, it's definitely been a unusual one today. Yeah. It is, yeah, Leanne, you're right. It is a real life topic that affects us all. It does affect a lot of us. Not everybody, but it does affect a lot of us. And I suppose that that I think about it like, some things are not quite taboo to talk about, but this is definitely something that people tend to skip, because it is an uncomfortable topic and it does draw eyes when you start talking about it. But yeah, I think that if you're comfortable enjoying your pie tomorrow, you should definitely enjoy your pie tomorrow, and don't let it derail your journey, and have fun with your friends. And I think that was my point through all of that. That's totally my point. Jancy says more people should talk about these things more often. I think it'd be amazing if we could get, not so much on this channel, but if we could get some people together who are qualified, because I think that's where I'm uncomfortable, is that I'm not a doctor and I'm not in any way qualified to really discuss this. So I would hate to give people like the wrong, or even them to consider a wrong journey for them. And I think that's where I'm concerned. But I would love to hear some more discussions from medical professionals who understand this side of it. I think that would be amazing. Freaky says, it was a great live. Thanks for sharing. And the mods are on the ball tonight. Yeah, the mods had to be on fire. So much work for the mods tonight. So I want to say a huge thank you to Sally and to the new mods who jumped in to help Sally keep up. I really appreciate you guys. I'm going to leave you as mods unless you don't want to be. Message me if you don't want to be permanent mods. I don't want you to feel like you have to, like, you know, I don't want you to feel like you have to do it, but if you want to, you can. That's where I'm going. It is clear that what you're saying is resonating with a lot of us. I think you're right, Leslie. I think you're right. Pearly says, not me. I can only talk about women's cancers. Well, I mean, that's a really important thing as well, to understand the difference between female and male biology. Like, I did not know that the symptoms for a woman's heart attack can be very different to than the symptoms of a male heart attack. I had no idea. So yeah, anyway. Let's end the stream on that point. It's been so amazing to talk to all of you and to have this opportunity to talk about something that is so different. But we got lots of Queen done. We really did. I got lots of Queen done. And I'm actually I'm wondering, because I'm so cold in here, I'm like, oh, I should take it inside. But I know the house is a hot box because it's summer out there and winter in here. So yeah, Nettie, everybody have an awesome week. And I will see you all next week for the live stream. And I hope you all have a fantastic, fun time over the next few days and enjoy your upcoming weekend. I'll catch you later. Bye.